Welcome to MotoGP Mac, where MotoGP fans come to congregate and fanboys fear tread. How you doing this weekend?
One boy, what a job. Bare fucking plate, yeah.
I could do that smooth, but I still see over there.
Yeah, I had.
Go ahead, you do it once. Next time you're going to do it.
I do it 6 days a week.
That's right. All right, I'll give you that. But great racing this weekend, was it or was it not?
Fucking Phillip Island, you absolute beauty. It's just one of those races, you know. It's like that really, really good feeling you get, Joe, when you go into a bookies, like, do you know what I mean? It's like that morning you get when you go into a bookies, like, yeah. And you know it's going to be good. And occasionally it does let you down, but no, what an absolute fucking barnstormer of a race. And I think it kind of, how do we put it? I think it captured the whole essence of MotoGP racing, that race. There was just epic.
Yes.
There was battles up and down the field, and it just showed that the smartest rider on the grid on the day outsmarted everyone else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not saying that the others aren't smart, but you know, Zarco, I'm delighted to be able to say that he's taken his first MotoGP win.
I know. Didn't you feel good for him finally?
Finally, yeah. Do you know?
Yeah.
I kind of felt like a little bit like Jack Miller, actually. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously jumping off the Ducati, you know, a lot of people were questioning: is this the last time he's ever going to win? You know, can he get one last win under his belt? And kind of feel the same for Zarco. This was his best opportunity. Sorry, the rest of the season was his best opportunity to get that win if he was ever going to get it. And seeing him do the backflip, you know, so I must admit, brought I won't say a tear to my eye, but nearly a tear to my eye, Joe, that he's finally got there. Now the fact that the duck is broken, will it give him that confidence to push on? I just don't know. But
he was very calm about it, wasn't he? I was really surprised.
Very calm, yeah. But
he didn't want to bring the tears out, so he's holding them back. He was so emotional.
And you know what I must say that I absolutely love is that I listened on YouTube after to the French commentators commenting on the last couple of laps of the race. Do you know what I mean? And they were absolutely losing their shit with excitement. And you're just like, do you know what I mean? You're just like, bam, like that is fucking shit. And
you sucked into it, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's just something like the passion that they were bringing into it, you know, which is kind of, I know, it's like national pride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But no, look, it was good. I thought the race was fucking mega. Like, you know, like I saw Martin going away and I was kind of like hand over the eyes. I was like, oh, you know, here we fucking go again.
And didn't you think he'd make it though? I was like, I thought he'd make it to the end. That tire deteriorated fast. I mean, it went.
It did, but like the Ducati didn't eat it like the Honda ate it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the Honda ate it within 5 laps. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It took 20. I personally think it was like 23 or so that Martin really started to struggle with his tire. Do you know what I mean? But like it wasn't really visible until 2 laps to go, and you're like, oh,
yeah. But it did go. It was falling down a hill.
Exactly, you know? Like because I was watching the race in bed, trying not to scream and wake the house. But I was just like, it was like kind of I saw the chunk go, and I was like, whoa, the fuck happened there? Did he run wide? Is actually what I originally thought. And next, and I was like, he's in fucking trouble with the tire. Like, do you know what I mean? He was fucking. Mm-hmm. And now I feel lousy for him. Like he led for 26 laps in 3 or 4 corners.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, you're just.
Yeah. You know what? After the race, I seen him. He goes into the pits, Martin, and he's just like, his head's hanging low. Like a kid who just got caught with, you know, he's lost the favorite girl, you know?
Yeah.
And, then I thought back, he had flashbacks of him crashing the last race where he was like looking at the bike on, you know, What happened? I thought, oh, man, he's having it rough. He's taking it rough.
Yeah. And like, look, he has immense confidence in that bike, like immense. Do you know what I mean? I thought he would. Now, to be fair, I thought when he got to about 2 seconds ahead, he'd probably tap off the gas a small bit and start managing it out. Maybe he did, but I don't think he did. I think he pushed to go to 3 seconds. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that was the mistake. But then I suppose he did get caught. You know, we did say kind of a couple of weeks ago, I think, first rule of battle with with a championship leader, or when you're battling for the championship, is don't be going off the cuff and making different decisions to others. Do you know what I mean? If your main rival is on a hard front, medium rear,
yes,
you go on a hard front, medium rear. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we were saying that before. We were saying that last. Yeah.
Don't let the tires decide what happened. But look, all in all, it's just brought the championship. We're down to 4 races now. You know, we've Thailand next weekend.
Refresh my memory though before we start that. It isn't Martin. Would you consider him doing the same thing as like Miller when they say he's jumping on them soft tires? Maybe he's jumping on them soft tires too much.
You see, this is the thing, right? Like it makes really, really good sense what he's doing, right? Pecco is not confident in the bike, right?
Right.
So Martin knows that if he goes maybe a little bit softer, he can build that early gap and manage it. Now, I don't ever think that he envisioned falling off the fucking cliff like he fell off the cliff today. Do you know what I mean? And look, like his strategy wasn't wrong. Like it wasn't. It's just he didn't make it. Do you know, it's like those fucking eco milers or hyper milers or whatever it is. Like here's your teacup of fucking petrol. Do you know what I mean? That's what you have to make it. Do you know, make it or you don't make it. Do you know, and like he was so close to making it that it was the right decision for him to go if he could make it work. And like, look, like he still finished within fucking 2 seconds or whatever it was, a second of the lead. So it wasn't a wrong decision. It was just he just didn't get it done, you know.
But in his case, because he has extreme raw speed, like his natural speed, okay, then I think he could drop down to that medium tire and still be able to break away. He's done it before, broke away on a medium.
He could, but like I think the soft gives him a little bit of extra confidence. Do you know what I mean? Now look, again, this is where it comes down to, like, all of this is what's happening to him right now is very similar to what happened Pecco in 2021 when he was battling with Fabio and he last outside side. He started to understand the pressures that come with it, and now Pramac have openly said that they decided the tire, not the rider, which I don't believe for a second. So but I think it's trying to move it, like, but like I think it's a pity that, although for the correct reasons, I think it's a pity that the sprint race was cancelled, because I think it's affected the championship a little bit more of by what happened in the main race and no sprint race, that it's actually favoured Pecco a little bit more, because you would have put money on Martin being first or second in the sprint. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't have put Pecco. Like Pecco was quite slow in morning warm up. Do you know what I mean? So, I wouldn't necessarily have said Pecco would be pushing it to the limits around Phillip Island in the west, whereas Martin is like, fuck it, I'd go for it.
Well, Pecco was very happy to make that, to get that place, for the sake that he said, my rear tire was spinning the whole time. He didn't expect to make the second, or you know what I mean? He didn't expect to make that place, because he was faltering in the beginning of the race.
He was. It was like that. There was either just like the tire or the medium was just too hard.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It was just spinning up on him. But like I was very worried when I saw his pace, like DG going past, Zarco going past. I was like, fucking hell, he's going to get eaten up here. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And actually, what I was then thinking is like, his pace isn't actually that bad. It's just Martinez is so good.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like kind of like he's in ballpark with the others, and with the exception of Binder at the time, Joe, he was only behind Ducati. It's like so. But no, look, I think the sprint race not running is actually a benefit for Pecco. It's points not lost, rather than points gained. But again, it shows all these twists into the championship. But I still think we're getting more.
By the way, a little off topic, but not much. The old timers, there was a lot of passing going on. It does show that
you can't. No, I know what you're going to say.
I know you're going to say it's a flowing track, but they were passing
tracks. Yeah, but that's track specific. Like you look at Phillip Island. There's maybe 15 lines around one single corner. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to take that one line. So like you could see it there. For example, DJ, like the move he pulled on Marc Marquez was fucking outstanding. Like he went up the inside of Marquez. Do you know what I mean? Where no one would fucking
up inside of Marquez after a while, but
at the start of the race, he went up the inside of Marquez, but he outfoxed him. Do you know what I mean? Like Marquez had him in turn 1, but he caught him in turn 2. Do you know what I mean? By having a different line in turn 1. Does that make sense?
I don't think Marquez is really trying. I think he's not. You don't see him running into the pits and trying new stuff and running out like he used to. I think he's just saying, "Okay, give me the general runs, setups, and I'll just throw a softie on there, and we'll see what happens." Because every race he's wearing a soft tie on it, and you don't see him the same exuberance to go in and out and get stuff done that he did.
But you're leaving.
Yeah,
like you're changing job. And you have to give 4 weeks notice. Are you going to give your all for 4 weeks? Well, you're already in cruise control.
Normal people, you say yes, but with Marquez, you got to know. You got to watch. He's like a dog chasing a cat. They get blinders on you.
Yeah, look, I think Pecco said it right when he said about Marquez, but Marquez hasn't been the same Marquez since Sachsenring, and he hasn't.
No,
the same aggression,
which is good.
Which is good because he's right-handed. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to be fucking stupid and throw yourself over the fucking handlebars every 2 minutes. But no, look, I thought, look, Phillip Island as a racetrack, you can't. It's designed for passing. Like every corner is fucking.
Oh, I know that.
We saw passes coming out of Hayshed and into Siberia, or out of Siberia and into the Hayshed. You very rarely see passes going through the Hayshed, which means that they can
this year that they've had a lot more passes than you had last year when people complain about passes, because when the bikes get competitive, that they can pass. When they have enough power, you're just power passing instead of doing.
But a lot of the passes were power passes. Like if you looked at it coming out of Siberia into the Hayshed, that was all pure acceleration, better line.
Yeah, right. You're right. You can pass. It's just they're going to be power passes, not draft passes.
Yeah. Now look, there was a few good passes into turn 1. Look, I thought one of the amazing rides, and this man definitely deserves not to be dumped out of MotoGP, but Fabio Di Giannantonio was fucking outstanding. And it's not that he's been just outstanding in the last race, but the last couple of races, he's had some really, really good results. And kind of reminds me of, do you remember when they announced that Jorge Lorenzo was leaving Ducati and then he won the race? Do you know what I mean? It's like, Fabio Di Giannantonio has been replaced by Marc Marquez, but wait, actually, he's passing the fucking championship leader.
yeah. And Miller, when Miller was going, right?
Yeah.
When they announced Miller was going to go, he took off like a bat out of hell.
Yeah, and it's just, it's like, and it's, I was, it's like the pressure is gone.
Yeah, maybe they should just lie to these guys. Hey, we're firing you. Hey, we're just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. But it's
It's it was just a phenomenal race all the way around. I don't think though, but I have to disagree on one thing. I think that the sprint race looked so bad, the conditions. I didn't think it warranted a race.
It's not. Yeah, like I never said that it wasn't cancelled for the right reasons. The question that was being asked was, should the sprint race be the first race in the morning? It's the Moto 3.
Oh, okay, yeah, but then again, you gotta say what's more important, the sprint race or the main race? If you guys split
what's
one,
more important? What's more important, the MotoGP Championship or the Moto 3?
MotoGP.
Yeah, that's what it is. And like, if they knew the storm was coming, which they did, no, and that was just a question that was out there. Was like, should they have, for example, changed the Moto 3 race to the Saturday? They had the time. Do you know what I mean? Could they put the Moto 3 race on after the MotoGP race?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Look, I don't know. Look, it's like it's coming into summer over there, so there's brighter evenings than this side of the world. So it was just a question there. It's like, Joe, the right decision was made to move the race to the Saturday, the main race to the Saturday, but could they move the sprint race to the Sunday, just say after warm up or whatever, condensed it in and said, okay, because realistically, like one rider, even though that everyone agrees it was the right decision to call the race off, again, one rider could look at it and say, well, the other rider doesn't go well in the wet, he normally crashes.
Yeah,
he took 12 points from me. But look, I guess, it is what it is. Yeah, I thought, other than that, I thought Binder was quite strong. I was surprised when Dizzy took him, that he didn't come back. But I was amazed, and he had some last fucking corner by. Oh my god! Did you see? He had Martin on the inside when going around the last corner. Did you see that?
Yes.
And he just sat the fucker up by and just boom. And I was just like, oh my god, because I actually thought that Martin got fourth, but then I was like, Jesus.
Which is surprising because the KTM's have been chewing up tires. They've been chewing up tires, not making it to the end, and all of a sudden or maybe
Binder is always good on the tires. It's Jack that fucking destroys them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
And Binders are normally do hold on, but like you could see, like he was on the medium was the right tire.
Yeah.
For the pace that the others were going, but the problem is that Martin was a little bit too fast. Yeah, and I'd love to actually understand why he chose soft over the medium. I think it'd be really, really interesting.
But look at the point spread, how fast it went. I mean, it went from Martin went up by 4. He lost. Pecca lost how many to go down to 4?
Then
this is another record year for point spread.
Yeah, then Pecco went up to 16 or 18 or something, and then he's got up now to 27.
Yeah,
and it's Now look, it's still nowhere near comfortable because, like, at one point during today's race, if it's back down to 4 or 6 points again, so
you're down to 4 points. That's all that.
It's one there's only one race, and then it will be interesting to see what happens. What happens in the next few weeks with it?
Who do we have next?
Thailand next now.
Thailand.
Yeah.
That's a new one, isn't it? Yeah.
No. We've been to Thailand before. We were Thailand last year. Yeah. It's not a bad circuit, actually. It's a hell of a breaking point in it. So, yeah, that's our folks. Yeah, Yamaha.
I still say I'm waiting. I was dying. I thought that this race, of all races, that they should have just said, screw it, throw every bit of power you can put in this thing, and throw caution to the wind. I think they're holding it back for a PR value. That's my personal opinion. They don't want to bike blown up on film. But
I don't, Jake. I think they're now at the point of like, we've got the maximum out of this bike. What's the point? And what's the point turning it up? There's no point. There is absolutely, they've no championship to fight for. They've no positions to fight for. It's just like
just for a little, glory.
Just
to keep Fabio happy he gets out, jumps on one podium. You know what I mean? Or two podiums. There's the second one.
Yeah. Look, sure, rider morale, let's call it. But like Marigali was out there last week and he was saying, it's going to take a lot more than money to make Fabio stay. I think that's a very powerful statement that he put out. And he's like, next year's engine is going to be a completely different engine, which I initially was like, is it this V4? And then there's just like, no, it's probably fucking fucked up way in translation of him basically saying it's a different version of the same engine in line 4. But they're definitely not going to give up the V4 or the inline 4 for any time soon.
That's just they're saving a paycheck, right? Or trying to go in the cheap because they've been trying to beat that. It's physics. They've been trying to beat that inline engine problem for 50, 60 years. I just told you that the Koenigsegg just tried it and it went down it has all kind of problems. He's supposed to be the best engineer in the world.
Yeah, look, I was very worried about it, but now I'm just like, look, they'll do it whenever they want to do it. But I just like looking at what's going on. I think Yamaha now see the writing on the wall that their chances of retaining Fabio next year are very, very small. Really? Small.
Because I haven't seen it where I heard mumblings about it, him bitching and moaning, but he bitched and moaned for the last, and justifiably, right, for the last 2-3 years. We haven't. I haven't heard of anything, but you get more news than I do. I'm over in America. We're like, we're out in the desert for news. But I haven't heard anything about whispers about he's signing here, or he's signing there, or he's rumored here or there.
No, I haven't heard any rumors of it, but you always kind of know, like this is the team manager of Yamaha basically coming out and saying we're going to struggle to re-sign our alien, right? That's literally opening the door to the rest of the paddock to say,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? And that's probably because Fabio told him, listen, you give me something to fight with, I could fight, I'd stay. But if I won't have something, what's the point? And it's not that he's getting old, but he's getting old of not getting results. Do you know what I mean? And
that's him being young. He's getting impatient.
Yeah,
rightly so.
Yeah, well, look, I think you can only do it for a year or two, and doubt then does have to creep into your mind and into your abilities. Do you still have it? Are you still the machine that you once thought you were? Do you deserve to be one of these people in your own mind? And I remember watching an interview. You've heard of Tyson Fury, yeah?
Oh yeah.
And he talks about, all his life he dreamt about being world champion boxer and this and that and the other. And his problem in life is that he always sets goals and he has trouble then when he achieves those goals. And he was saying that when he won the boxing world championship or whatever it was, and he had all the belts, he was sitting there and he was like, is that it? Is that I've worked all my life for this or whatever? And I guess so. If you go and get knocked out then or something like that, because literally with Fabio, what's happening is he reached the world championship, he fought for a second one, do you know what I mean? And now he's nowhere fucking near fighting for a third one or fourth one, or you know what I mean? And doubt has to come in, and it's like Marquez is another prime example of this. I bet you Mark has doubted his ability 15 times in the past 2 years.
Oh yeah.
Do I still have it?
Yeah. Yes.
Can I still do this? Can I still take it to that absolute limit? And for Mark, we're going to find out next year. Do you know what I mean? But we're still another year after that of waiting for Fabio. And I personally think it's going to be Fabio and Aprilia. Is my
Oh, I'd love to see that. Look, I got the shirt already.
Yeah. They'll have changed sponsors by then.
Damn it. I have to buy another shirt.
From China.
From China, yes.
Yeah. Good man. But no, look, I think it'll be pretty interesting. This weekend, Rins, I nearly had the child of Prague out praying for that there would be no rain or no fucking injuries for Rins. Now, he didn't take part in the race, but he crashed on Friday. And I was just like, my heart was in my mouth because it was just like, oh my God, break the fucking leg again. Now you don't be able to. I don't reckon we'll see him in Thailand. I think he's had a lot of pain and like it's just not worth it. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's not good. Right, it's not worth it. Why at this point? Let it heal up.
Yeah. And then look, Marquez, soft tire. I know we touched it. Like he is still a racer, and like those first few laps that he was going, you kind of got a little bit of a flash of the old Marquez.
Yes.
Then the tire dropped.
Yeah.
Just like fuck's sake, here we go. Like Fabio, who was at one point running in, I think 17th or 18th or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I was like, he's not even going to score a point. Like, do you know what I mean? From a dry race, it was just like, let's just go back to sleep. Just luckily the race
even looks different though when he crashes now. He's going around like turn 10. He's going about 100 kilometers an hour. He's like, and he just slides out. He's like, oh, okay, just pick it up.
Another 20 grand's worth of damage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But bill me, fuckers, bill me.
Where's my valet? Okay, I just
it was just. I felt sorry for him, and then obviously for Franco and Fabio, it was just. It's like, how fucking worse can this get? Like, you know
I don't think Franco's going to do shit. I have no faith in Franco in Ducati next year. I'm sorry.
I think it'll be interesting. I really genuinely think he'll be interesting. Will he do anything? I would be similar to yourself. I'm not sure will he do something on it. Like, will he be able to compete? It'd be interesting to compare him with Mark because the two of them are going to be trying to adapt to the new style bike and see who can adapt faster. Do you know what I mean? Like Marquez will have Alex in his corner, kind of giving him info on a direct, like this is how it works compared to the Honda of last year or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Where Franco won't really have that, you know.
What about the statement that Marquez and his brother made? They said if I went here for 1 year, and if I don't do well, I'm retiring.
I think it's a load of horseshit, to be honest. It is a true statement. It is a true statement that he made, but I think that was ages ago when he turned around, just when it was going to be done. It was like,
well, supposedly he just made this statement.
No, there was a statement out about that he needs to come back to enjoy his riding, and if he doesn't enjoy his riding, that he would look at retirement. And
I remember that when it first came out, but apparently you got to watch. There's so much shit going on now.
There is.
It's just like, God, you got to weed through it. You know,
your MotoGP news. Yeah.
Oh, the news, and then and then there's ones that they keep coming out with so many different ones. There must be 20 different. It's not just the news ones now. I mean, it's just. I don't know what they should kick the guy off of YouTube. He just keeps going them over and over and over and over again.
I found a handy little thing of blocking. So blocking. So hide this channel. Yes. Don't more. Yeah. Did you know? And this is one of the things with me. I checked this morning. And we're at 9,861 subscribers. We are so close to 10,000 subscribers. 139 more.
Yes, folks, put us over. I'll send somebody a helmet.
So let's try and get to 10,000 before the end of the year. So if you're listening to this, by the way, on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, or any other podcast that's not on YouTube, come over to YouTube and give us a subscribe so we can get to 10,000. And I can walk around like Billy Big Balls for at least 2 hours.
Yeah.
Maybe get drunk.
And you get a nice new, brand new helmet. I'll give you a choice of 2. Right out of the box.
Right out of the box. Anyway, what else was I going to say? Now, the whole story about Miguel Oliveira. This is a really, really interesting story. So firstly, Honda were talking to Maverick Vinales, which they were politely told, please piss off, not going to happen ever. Right? Then they started talking to Alicia Spargaro, which that had seemed to fizzle out also. And then they were talking to Miguel Oliveira, who is slightly open and entertaining the idea of going to Honda. And I just thought it was very interesting that when I was trying to look around the grid, and I know we touched on this last week, I was trying to look around the grid, and I was like, who would probably be the best one to go to Honda? What rider? Now, when I was thinking of it during the week, then I was like, you have Miguel, just say. You have Taka. You have Zarco. And you have Mir. And then I was like, which one of those is young, dumb, and fast? None of them. They all have baggage. They're all older generation, which is great in a way. But you need that young, dumb one to say, did you know the bike can do this? And
well, you shot mine down. I was thinking the kid from World Superbike. You said he did for
I don't think he's fast enough.
Yeah, you said it went sour on
him. I just don't think he's fast enough. So but it's kind of one of the things that they need someone young, hungry, and dumb. And when I say dumb, I don't mean actually thick dumb, but I mean
inexperienced.
But they're everyone tells them don't put on this tire because it'll hang, and they still put on the tire because they want to find out. Do you know what I mean? And it's, how would I say, technically it's going to push the advancement of the bike forward I'll be honest, I like the fact, I don't know, but I think Digi might do well there, but I don't know will he handle the pressure of the factory team. Now, Zarco moving over is definitely not going to happen according to Luca Cecchinello. He sold sponsorship based off Zarco being in the team.
There you go. No, he's not going to let that loose. We can.
So he's not going to let that loose. And then are Honda really going to let a young dumb some fella join the brigade of it? I don't think they. But I definitely think Digi doesn't deserve to be kicked out of the championship.
Yeah.
I definitely think. He needs to be in a test rider and do a couple of wild cards during the year or something,
just to keep him around. Just to see. I'd like to see him do a few more. I'd like to see, to me, I don't like flashes in a pan. I don't like to see, he did 2 or 3 races. I want to see some consistency there.
Yeah, look, I don't think he did bad in his first rookie year. He didn't do great this first opening part of the year. But maybe that's pressure. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's the pressure cooker that he found himself in, that now year 2 you have to perform, that he couldn't get it done. But maybe he's taken some Viagra and he's standing to attention. He's fucking happy now, But yeah, look, I just thought it was interesting, like who are Honda going to get, and then if Honda do pull Miguel, there's going to be an open seat at Aprilia or NF.
He's gonna doubt that real quick. But think about it. He's been busted up all year, right? He's gonna go from being busted up from crashing to be, the crashing.
Yeah, but I think Miguel is coming to the stage of his career, and you see it all the time with like young footballers, right? So they grow up 14, 15, 16, still believing that they may be this fucking unbelievable footballer. And something changes at 17, kind of says, look, I know I'm going to enjoy playing football, but I'm never going to do it at a professional level. Do you know what I mean? There's that change, and maybe it's a change in mindset with Miguel. Because, like, realistically, if Miguel was to go to Honda, he could name his price, right? There is no early exit clause from RNF Aprilia. It is an Aprilia factory contract that he has. Rivolo has said there's no sign or there's no release clause in it. So to break that, RNF or Aprilia themselves would get a hell of a lot of money. I would think they would be like Honda are probably in the worst bargaining position.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So like literally Aprilia can turn around and say, okay, to release Miguel from his contract that he has for 1 year, we want 15, 20 million. Take it or leave it. So I mean, that's how bad you want him. Yep. Miguel, who they probably give him 7 or 8 million a year, 10 million maybe.
Yeah.
You're coming towards the end of your career. Not that he's at the end of his career, but you're coming towards the end of your career.
Towards the end of your career, and then it could be the end of his career from crashing. And he has that stamp. People stamp it for a rider when you get these people going, "Oh no, it's the rider, it's not the bike."
Yeah.
And it kills his career, right?
Yeah, and look, it does. But like, if you're kind of looking at your 5-year plan and you're like, well, look, I'm not going to be a MotoGP now in the next 5 years. I'm making 2 million a year. I've a thing to sign a 2 or 3 year deal with these ones at 10 million a year. You'd be mad not to do it. So
right, because you're set for the rest of your life, right?
You're set, and that's what I kind of mean is like that switch that's gone off. That I need to take care of my family, myself when I retire. Blah, 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 blah. So I think it's interesting what's going to happen, because either way, a seat is still open. Whether that seat is going to be Repsol Honda or whether it's going to be an RNF Aprilia.
How much you want to bet that Honda is going to try to do everything they can to get Fabio
Quartararo?
Yep.
I don't think so. I definitely don't think he's going to go from the fireplace into the fire. Like, you know what I mean?
They're going to try. The old habits die hard. They're going to go.
I think that'll be 2025. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That they'll try and get him, and that will be the end of Mir, I would think, in the Honda team. You know.
They're still going to try to do we want the best rider, screw the bike. You know what I mean? That habit's been there so long, they're not going to switch over. I don't think they'll learn their lesson totally yet.
I don't think so. I don't think they'll ever actually learn that. And we know Honda don't need an alien right now. They need some good test riders, and they need, in my view, someone young and
engineers. Yeah.
So I mean, like engineering and all that's completely separate to their rider lineup. They will always try and attract a big name. That's just a brand exercise that they will never get. But what that actually does for that brand name is it's actually a negative. Do you know what I mean? Because and like Mark is a pure example of it. You know, the bike is not working. It's a very public fail, rather than just going and getting, just say with Mir, just say Mir, Miguel and whomever and Zarco and stuff. It's just it takes a little
having that alien talking about this.
Creates the expectation.
No, not that. It's a deficit to the development. Not it doesn't help them. It's a deficit because they rely on it. They'll go, okay, it's we can get by this. If we go, as soon as they get him up where he's just close to it, then they kind of ease off, with development. Where if they have no one, now they have to make it. Now, invention is the mother of necessity. So now they're going to have to. At this point in time, right now where they're sitting, they have to make a good bike. There is no getting around it. So for all you Honda guys, this is a good thing for Honda, not a bad thing. You look at it from that point.
Yeah. Look, I genuinely do think that it is really good for Honda that if they're out of the limelight and rebuild, do you know what I mean? That way, I think it would be really, really, really good for them just to have a little bit of, just a little bit of time out of the public eye to rebuild their efforts. Because like a brand like Honda doesn't stay down forever, right? They're not going to. So yeah. Now the other thing I found very, very funny, and some newspaper articles and things that you would think would run proper stories, like they were all out during the last week. Marquez confirms that he's going to ride, or the bike that he's going to ride in 2024. Everyone fucking knew it was a GP23.
Right.
Hello, right? Hello,
right.
Like he put out a fucking article 2 months ago saying that Gresini have confirmed that they will run 2 GP23s in 2024. Yeah. Why are you fucking making a whole sensational fucking story that Marquez is going to ride a thing? And then it was like they're putting words into Mark's mouth saying, oh, well, like if I perform well, that I'll get more parts. So firstly, the ECU for the 2024 bike is different. Going to be different. Can't fucking swap that over to the 2023 bike.
Right.
The 2024 engine is going to be different to the 2023 engine, right?
Yep.
Aerodynamics, well, those can change between bikes. Do you know
right.
what I mean? They're not changing the fucking size and dimensions and whatever. And I'm like, you're a really reputable source and newspaper or fucking whatever news channel for this. Now it's not one of the YouTube ones. Like, why are you writing this complete and utter horseshit? Like, everyone knows that he's going.
That's what I was talking about. It's so hard to you got to filter.
And this is a reputable one. This is one of our mainstream ones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are ye for fucking absolute shit? Is it that slow of a week that you're trying to make up this fucking stuff? So I would put out nothing rather than putting out the same old fucking drizzle of, well, he's gonna ride a Jeep. We know. We all know. And then fucking you see then the other channels, they're jumping on it and going, oh, he's sensational, epic fighters.
Yeah.
I fucking thump someone. Now I blocked most of them, to be honest, but the ones that I did see, I was just like, eh. But yeah, look.
You see that? Give me a hand, block them, because I've been writing into YouTube, and I've had 4 or 5 of them blocked off for misinformation.
Did you?
Oh yeah. If they only see one person doing it, they won't shut them down. If they see a couple people doing it, then they'll shut the thing down because it's getting out of hand. It's everything. They're still talking about instant news. Marquez signs for Gresini. No shit. That wasn't 4 hours ago. That was 3 weeks ago. All this other shit. Marquez real alien has 3 fingers.
Yeah. I absolutely though, to kind of circle back on this weekend, I loved seeing Zarco do the backflip, right? But there's one thing that I loved more than that there's a picture, I don't know if you see it, of Zarco with the team, and there's P1 and gas written on the thing. But the team is all standing around the bike, and Zarco is in midair doing his backflip. It is absolutely fucking class. So
he had to be nervous as hell going, I haven't done this in years. I hope I don't fuck it up. You know what I mean? Like, don't screw up this time. He was on the wall. He was probably going, oh shit. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, and like the closest, I'm just trying to find out, the closest that he ever came to winning a race was in 2017. He finished behind Pedrosa by 0.33 seconds. No, sorry, wrong. Las Termas behind Karl Crutchlow. 0.251 seconds. Anyway, poor Ozark, I'd say he's getting fucking hammered this weekend. I think he was kind of actually delighted that the sprint was cancelled.
Yeah. He's like, no.
Yeah, because like he does. And then there's talk that there's going to be a new writers committee formed as well, and Sylvain Guintoli is actually going to be the head of that, which can only be good, I think, because I do think it's right that the writers do have a voice in this channel through the right ways, and especially when it comes to kind of the wet weather races and this, that, and the other. And one of the things I always find very funny, right, and this is not a thing against him, right, but it starts to rain, right, and the camera always goes to Alicia Spagro. Always goes. So he's like, I'm not racing in this. I'm not fucking racing in this. Next one is like, he's trying to put over the bike because he's told go racing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But no, I think the writers thing can only be a good thing. Do you know what I mean? It can only bring obviously a voice to the writers group in a more formal way, I suppose.
I'm still looking for the I want to see that carbon fiber frame, just a picture of the frame. I have yet to see that.
Why you want that for the wank bank, is it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I
wonder if what everybody's got behind that, because that seems to be jumping. It's made a hell of a jump from day one. It's got on the track. It's like, how much potential is in that thing?
Massive.
Real curious.
Massive. Because technically you could build a frame now for every track.
Yeah. That was the original thought behind the original carbon fiber frame. And a friend of mine, he's into cars. Now, he said there's a new process, and he didn't delve on what it was, but there's a new process for making carbon fiber. And I wonder if that is where this came from.
Well, I think it's always going to come, like, being very real. An aluminium frame, while it is light, it's still heavy compared to carbon.
Oh God, yes, yeah.
Right, and a steel frame versus a carbon frame, even though they mightn't be weight saving and this, that, and the other. Again, putting the weight on the bike where you want the bike, or the weight, is much, much different than having. Well, you have to have a big steel frame running up here. Now you don't. So look, I think we're only in the infancy of how this is going to be developed. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And this is where I really worry about the likes of Yamaha and Honda. Like, they can't get their aluminium frames to work. How are they going to start taking that and flipping it over to carbon? Do you know what I mean? And getting you understand, like, Yamaha don't even run a carbon fucking swing arm.
No.
Do you know what I mean? They couldn't actually get it to work with their bike.
But I don't believe that the adding the power is screwing up their handling that bad, because that's engineering 101. They've been doing that for so long.
It's a fundamental thing that I really love to understand, is like how Yamaha went from battling for a championship last year to battling for a top 10 this year.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And I don't buy that they couldn't get it. They said that much of a difference threw the whole thing off that much. I still think they're worried that engine is going to let loose.
Where I suppose I get this, that what I mean is that, right, the pickup points of the engine casing would be quite similar, right?
Right, exactly, right.
So, like, how can you go that far wrong? Like, you can understand the small bit with Honda, right? They made a frame, like they're in year 2 of the design concept for a rear bias bike, right? So you can kind of understand how they're a little bit still at sea, right? In a way. Whereas with Yamaha, they haven't changed anything. They've upped the horsepower.
Yep.
You know, the engine for the most part is still the same engine. Changing the weight distribution, all of that is done not necessarily by the engine, do you know what I mean? But more so by the position of the engine within the frame, which they're allowed to change anytime that they want to. And they are, like, they have put in multiple frames this year. I think it's count of 4 or count of 5 frames that they've tried this year, and they're not getting it right. And you know, we've always said that Yamaha's strong point is tuning of the chassis. It doesn't look like it now. Okay, then there's the aerodynamics. They don't understand aerodynamics, which they have openly admitted. Like, I'm still fucking laughing at Lynn Jarvis, and he's like, "Joe, we would like more testing, another set of aerodynamics, and you know that the fact that we could change the engine after." I was just like, "So you want full concessions, really?" Is what?
Yeah, I know.
But it was kind of sneaking in there in his wording that, like, well, we'd like to be able to change the engine, that we're not tied to the one engine. I definitely do think the Yamaha maybe wouldn't survive another year if it's like this year. So I do think in Japan they're probably panicking a small bit now. You know?
But Yamaha has always had a stronger engineering department than Honda. So I could see them, once they get on the right track, right? As soon as they say, okay, we're going to take the investment, we're going to go into the V4, they're going to go. They'll be okay. You know, no, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a year or two, but you know, somewhere along the line, you got to bite the bullet. You know, shit or get off the pot.
Yeah, look. I'm just nervous, and not like when the minute Yamaha start off with a V4, they're starting a brand new project again.
Yes, they are.
It's a brand new project, right? And they will be very, very slow to do that.
Well, they've had V4s before. I don't know if it's a V4 2-stroke or a V4 4-stroke. It's more weight, I guess. Yeah, it's more weight.
But like even on Massimo Mardagali said the other day, you know, that they're going to probably stick with the inline, and like they do understand that the V4, the benefits of the V4 is because it lets you build a narrower bike. There's more aero friendly in the way of designing aero, but they're still going, and you're just like, fuck's sake, like, Joe, get up with the 90s and
this is 2023, not 2000, not 2013.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just they need to move in it, and I suppose that's where I am with Yamaha. And this is what really worries me, is that there seems no movement. There doesn't seem any movement.
Let's put it that way. It doesn't seem like that.
It's movement, right? Like Honda, to be fair to Honda, like every weekend that you see the Honda, there's something fucking different on it. Do you know what I mean? Whether sometimes it's a different rider, but there's always different parts. They're trying this, they're trying that, they're trying the other. And I have to commend them, because they're trying to improve it. They're trying to find the direction. They're trying to find what to do. Whereas when you look at the Yamaha, what do you see?
Yeah.
I think I saw a little winglet there about 2 races ago underneath the current front wing, and I was like, "Ooh, something new on Yamaha."
Isn't that cute? Yeah.
I think they were trying like the fork wings for, and it's just like, really? I was like, of all your problems that you're trying to solve, you're putting a fucking little wing on a fork.
Yeah. Oh, my relatives, my nephew and my cousin are just they laugh their ass off. Like, you call that in? You know, that's just BS. That's just fluff. You know.
Yeah. Look, it's just, for me, I suppose it's just, it makes me very concerned for next year as a Yamaha fan. Am I just going to be watching these fellas towards the tail end of the field that they're so far behind? You're using a calculator and someone else is using the fucking AI fucking calculator. Do you know what I mean? They're that far behind now.
Now, my cousin thinks that Calix they stopped Calix. He has the feel. He's like, I think they're parting ways with Calix. They've had enough. Like they've spent enough money. They went, okay, we'll do it ourselves.
I don't know. I think I don't. Yeah.
By now they should have Calix engineers, a few good men. Like you shouldn't see all these scattered of 18,000 guys down there. Like a government job. You might see that in the beginning because by now they should have that more streamlined. And
well, look, they're caught with that famous word that you want. Like they can't continue to test because they don't have the time to actually test and understand it. And like you give a new chassis to Mark and he'll fucking crash it, right? You give it to Mir and he'll fucking crash it, right? Who do you give the fucking chassis to? Rins is out. He's going to Yamaha. They're not going to give him, and so it's only Taka. Do you know what I mean? Really, and he crashes too. But like Mir and Taka, I don't know. Mir seems to have gone back to the original chassis. Do you know what I mean? Which is
I wanted somebody to play out like, but the joke, but that Mick doing the signs for Honda. You know what I mean? It's like that you'd have people buy it. Cool.
Yeah. Look, it's just interesting, I suppose, to see how things are going to play out. We have Thailand this weekend.
Refresh me on that track. Is that a fast track, slow track, tight track?
I think it's an in between track. Actually, I think there's a couple of Mickey Mouse corners in it, and there's a hell of a long straight into a wide open.
Okay.
Hairpin, or is it a 90 right or something?
Yeah,
it is class. It is class.
I think it does have a long straight though, doesn't it? It has is that the one that has a real long straight? One of the Asian tracks is a real long straight. I remember.
I think it's that one. It's massively long, I thought. But yeah, look, I think it will be. Well, look, it's the last of how to say, it's the last of this triple header. Yeah, right. So and it's it's not a complex as in complex circuit, but it is like there's I think turn 4 or turn 5, I can't remember it, but there's one of those bends you're coming in off. You come off, I think turn 1 is a 90-degree right, and then there's a big long straight with a kind of a kink, which they call, and which is a kind of like, it kind of reminds me of the kink of the old Austrian race. Draw that kink, it's a straight, but they name it as a turn into a hairpin, and then there's a very fast left-hander into a double apex turn. I think, can't remember it, but it does kind of flow then out the back a small bit. So look, it will be interesting, but realistically, coming out of turn 1 onto that long straight, I think it won't favor Aprilia or Yamaha. Do you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of acceleration there coming out of turn 1 and turn 3.
But I bet you the Aprilia does good in the traps.
It does good in the traps, but it's slower getting there than the Ducatis and the KTM. Do you know what I mean? So it's like so yeah. Look, it'll be interesting, I think. But yeah, I'm gonna go anyway for the lap. Fastest man on Friday. I will go with Binder.
You're gonna go Binder.
Binder.
I gotta go Martin again.
Okay.
That's been a cheap shot, but you know what I mean? He's on a roll. He has to. He's been doing it.
Fucking
fastest guy, huh?
fanboy. Martin fanboy.
No,
Fucking
he's just
fanboy.
in a roll. He has raw speed.
I want fanboy.
Yeah, no. When next year you can say that when Marquez is tromping all over everybody and owning on the Ducati.
Yeah, I'd be telling you, fucking hide your hair down, Jake.
Yeah.
Anyway, and on that bombshell, I think we will wrap it up there for today. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and don't forget to like, subscribe, or whatever it is, and we will see you all next week after the Thai Grand Prix.
Hasta la vista, folks.
Laters, alligators.